What's up, everybody? Thank you very much. I always appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. I'm talking about one of the greatest sequels ever made, up there with The Godfather Part 2 and The Empire Strikes Back. It's one of the greatest action films of all time. It's one of the most influential action films of all time. Came out in the summer of 1991 from director James Cameron, a true science fiction and action masterpiece and classic, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This came out 7 years after the original. The year that this movie came out, Arnold Schwarzenegger was already the biggest action star in the world. He'd already starred in movies like Conan, there was Raw Deal, Predator, Red Heat, The Running Man, there was Total Recall, Commando. It's crazy, I can still remember being 6.5 years old and my dad bought me this VHS copy of Total Recall, and when I put it on to watch it, before the movie came on, there was a teaser to Terminator 2 Judgment Day where it said coming next summer, and in the teaser it showed like an assembly of the T800 and how it's put together real quick, and it doesn't show much but just enough to get you excited for what was to come. If you know nothing about these Terminator movies and you want to check them out for yourself for the first time, then I highly recommend go into it completely blind. Watch the first one, it's a masterpiece, and then watch the second one, but don't see a trailer because that's got to be the best way to experience it. Those of us that saw this in the theater back in the day, a lot of us saw the trailer, and so we had this spoiled for us already even back then. In the first film, Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, is a cyborg sent back through time from the year 2029 to the year 1984 to kill a woman named Sarah Connor before she gives birth to a son, John Connor, who is supposed to grow up to become a leader and lead humanity in a fight against the rise of the machines. And by the end of that first film, it's a little bit hopeful, but also there is a kind of sense that things are just beginning, that the fight is going to continue. Linda Hamilton is back in this sequel, reprising her role of Sarah Connor from the first film, and because of what the character went through in that movie, she has gone through a complete transformation, not just inside. She's a lot tougher, she's kind of battle hardened, and she's been working out a bit. When we first see Sarah Connor in this movie, we find her in a mental institution, and any evidence of the Terminator from the first movie has been covered up. But anyone that remembers that first movie, you might remember that Sarah Connor had a bit of a baby bump at the end there. And so by the time you get to this one, her son is about 10 years old, although the actor that plays him, Edward Furlong, looks more like 13 or whatever. But yeah, that first movie came out in 84, but if she was impregnated in that year, as that movie implies, then he would be born in 85, which means the character, according to James Cameron, is supposed to be about 10 here. And so I guess this movie takes place in 1995, although it came out in 1991. It's a bit confusing. So because John Connor was born and he's still a potential threat to machines in the future send another Terminator back through time to the year 1995 to kill John Connor while he's still a kid before he has a chance to grow up and save humanity and all that. And so because of that, somebody in the future, the Resistance, sends back someone to protect John Connor. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger is great in the role of the T-800. It's the role he was born to play, and in that first movie, he was really scary and very intimidating, but in this movie, he's still very intimidating, but this time, he's on our side. But every action hero needs a good villain, and this movie just happens to have a great villain in the T-1000, played by actor Robert Patrick, who went on to play a lot of good roles in movies like Fire in the Sky and Copland. But this guy is amazing as a T-1000. Compared to Arnold, he has a normal kind of build. He looks like a regular guy, kind of unassuming, and wears a disguise of a policeman's uniform throughout the movie to infiltrate all kinds of places and talk to people and get information from people. He has the coldest stare and runs pretty damn fast. It's almost scary how he runs towards people in this movie. Like Arnold, he's also a Terminator, but he's a more advanced model. He's made out of liquid metal, and so he can do all kinds of things that look really cool on screen. The kind of things that we never thought we could ever see back then, but the first time seeing it on the big screen, it was a big deal. This movie was a huge game changer for the industry. Prior to this, we had The Abyss, which had the pseudopod sequence. Again, James Cameron, breaking barriers. And it was that pseudopod sequence that made the liquid metal man in this movie possible. The visual effects in this movie still look great and hold up beautifully even nowadays, and were revolutionary for the time. You don't get to Jurassic Park without this movie right here. And Stan Winston, he was the man. Rest in peace. That guy was responsible for so many cool things. The xenomorphs in Alien, also the Predator. When it comes to what Stan Winston and his team were able to accomplish when it comes to these first two Terminator films, enough can't be said about his contributions to cinema in general. And the music in this movie is also killer. Brad Fiedel, who did the music for the first movie, which is one of my favorite movie synth scores of all time, comes back to do the music for this sequel and once again knocks it out of the park. This had a much bigger budget than the first movie. Spectacular explosions and chases and shoot 'em up stuff and all kinds of really cool action that still looks good and holds up to this day. But what's really great about this movie is the script is really good. The characters are really good. The acting is really good. The directing is phenomenal. The visual effects still look terrific. The music is on point. Everything about this movie is damn near perfect. There are a lot of cool themes in this movie, some pretty deep themes for an action movie, themes of humanity saving itself from nuclear war, and you're also dealing with time travel and paradoxes that can hurt your head if you stop and think about it for too long. And so, yeah, you can try and poke some holes in the plot there if you want, but if you just sit back and enjoy the ride, you'll have a hell of a time. This is a 4-star classic. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of the greatest movies ever made. I'm sure you can find this movie on streaming, but you guys know me. I'm a hard copy kind of guy. And I have a few copies right here, actually. This is a copy of the movie on Blu-ray when I got it, like, I like to say, like 15 years ago or something like that. And yeah, that's that right there. But even before I got this copy on Blu-ray, I had this baby, which is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. And what I really like about this DVD is this kind of metal type, cover. You can kind of feel the cover there, the skeleton coming out of the cover a little bit. And yeah, this is one of my favorite images actually for a cover, but not the original cover. The original cover was on the VHS, of course, in the original poster. And you kind of see that a little bit here, but it's a close-up right there. So yeah. But if I'm going to watch this movie, when I do put it on, I usually go to this one right here because it's the only... No, I'm sorry. I have about 2 or 3, maybe 4Ks in my old collection. And this right here is one of them because, of course, I had to get this movie in 4K. And so now, whenever I put this on, I usually go to this to watch it in the best quality possible because it sounds and looks freaking awesome. And yeah, once again, T2 Judgment Day. Check it out. Watch the first one, then watch this one. You won't regret. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications of more reviews from me coming out very soon. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for all your support. I very much appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, it always helps out. And go ahead and comment on your own experiences if you've seen this movie. When was the first time you saw it? Was it the drive-in like me or regular theater? Did you see it for the first time on video? Or how old were you when you first saw it? That kind of thing. But yeah, let me know. I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. And I'll see you on the next review. Everybody take care of each other. Till next time, peace out. God bless.